Good morning, Mr. Billy Bob.
Hey, how's it going, Manny?
I am wonderfully blessed as always, sir. Thank you so much, and so are you. And you are wonderfully blessed for creating Jayne Mansfield's car.
Well, thank you. I'm glad you're having me on to talk about it.
You are so welcome. No, it's a dramedy. Jayne Mansfield's car. It's a dramedy that feels very very personal and very very heartfelt. By the way.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
What?
And we're very proud of the movie.
And you should be. Now, what made you want to not only write it, co-wrote it, direct it, and even star in it? What made you want to take on all those endeavors?
Well, that's kind of how I started out as a director, just directing my own story and you know, playing the character and all of that. So I feel comfortable there. I'm not a real technical director who can direct, you know, big blockbuster action movies or science fiction movies. I think I'm just the best guy for the job when it's my own story that I've had an idea about, you know, and that was the case here. It was a story I'd had in my head for a little while, and when I got the time to write it, I called my partner Tom and we sat down and got into it, and I was very fortunate to have actors that I've known over the years. We could bypass the agents and all that kind of thing, and I could just call them up and say, hey, we're doing a movie, you want to join us? So I got some terrific people in there, Robert Duvall and Kevin Bacon and John Hurt and Robert Patrick, Ray Stevenson, a lot of people, Francis O'Connor, Catherine Lanasa, Shawnee Smith, just Ron White, who's, you know, terrific in it. So it was a terrific experience.
Yeah, thank you so much for bringing that up. I mean, it's a movie. One of the main things that I got from watching the film is it's a movie with terrific performances. What made you want to choose your character Skip though to play?
Well, in the beginning, when I was first thinking of the story, it was really Duvall and myself were the only ones I had in mind. You know, I knew what those two characters were going to be, and you know, when you're going to play in a movie that you're writing, you just kind of naturally write the character that seems to fit you the most, you know.
Right, and it fits you the most perfectly.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what I love best about the movie is its intricate way of showing an American family and the perfect balance between funny, sad, and yes, a bit odd.
Well, that's what they say about me, you know. Sad, funny, and odd. So I guess anything I write's going to kind of turn out that way.
Right. No, you know what? I do love your directing style. It's a gentle reminder to those people who had forgotten that one of the most iconic your work as a filmmaker was, of course, Sling Blade.
Yeah, that was that movie was it meant a lot in my life. You know, Sling Blade. It was made at a time when independent film was still growing. You know, and so I think maybe if I tried to do that movie these days, I don't even know if I'd get it financed, and I'm not sure if it would turn out, you know, the way it did at the time with the audience now. But it came along at the right time.
Let's talk about the setting of the movie for a second. It's set in the 60s. Was that decade a special decade for you?
Yes, absolutely. Being a child of the 60s, I love the 60s movies, but just the time in general. Mainly because it was a time of turmoil, but also a time of great change. And, you know, I grew up as a hippie, so I always loved that era, the music of the time and everything about it. And then, but there was a real heaviness in the 60s because of the Vietnam War. And just having come out of the Korean War not too long back, and also the assassinations of the Kennedy brothers as well as Martin Luther King. That was a very heavy time. It was a rich, wonderful, but also very sad and violent time.
Yeah, and the movie also showcases America's love for cars. What's your favorite car, Mr. Billy Bob?
My favorite car, well, I own a 67 Chevelle 396. I love that car, but the one I really want is a 64 GTO, which is the first year of the GTO, and we actually have that in the movie. That's the car that we drive away in there. And the guy who leased out the car for us to use for the movie, I begged him to sell it to me, and he wouldn't. He said, "I bought it new. I can't sell it." And I wanted that car so bad, you have no idea.
Oh.
So maybe he'll have a change of heart at some
Right,
point, 'cause
hopefully.
it's a dandy.
Now, congratulations on the movie again. Jayne Mansfield's car
Thank
is
you.
going to be out in select theaters in Palm Springs, actually, here on Friday the 13th. And it's also out now on iTunes and VOD, correct?
That's right.
Okay, well, congratulations again. Good luck on everything, Mr. Billy Bob, okay? And visit us in Palm
Oh,
Springs sometime.
thank you. Thank you, Manny.
All right, you're welcome. Bye-bye.